Are you a visual learner? Well, I'm about to discuss some study activities for visual learners right now. Hi, I'm Terrell, and this is Absolutely Studying. I want to supply you with all of the resources and support you need to flourish in your academic career. Today, we're talking study activities for visual learners. Are you a visual learner? Do you need to close your eyes and picture what it is you're trying to recall? Do diagrams make more sense to you? When you are in lecture, is it more important for you to look at the slides than listen to the teacher? Then you're probably a visual learner. Now, I want to preface that more often than not, you are not solely a visual learner. You're probably a melding between a couple of different learner types. Remember, the different learner types are auditory, visual, reading, writing, or kinesthetic. There are some subtopics, but we'll get into them individually. Now, for a visual learner, flashcards are probably going to be one of your top study tools. Flashcards are really great, and there are a ton of different things you can do with them. I will link up here a video of 10 different ways you can use flashcards. Some are going to be better for visual learners, some will be better for auditory learners, and some for kinesthetic learners. So trying out a few different activities and seeing which one is right for you and which one you really engage in and enjoy is going to be a little bit of a learning process. But flashcards are great because there are different activities you can do with them. You can draw diagrams on them. You can just use them for straight up vocabulary. There are so many different applications. So flashcards are a great way for you to be able to visually quiz yourself quickly with no mess. Another really great way for visual learners to really cement knowledge is to take everything you are trying to learn and find a way to make a diagram out of it. So even if it's something silly that doesn't seem on first glance to make sense or to link the concept, it only has to make sense to you. So if you are a really visual learner, likely every time you are told some information or hear something, you immediately start to picture it. So try to doodle that picture in your head that you've associated with these facts onto your paper. It doesn't have to be cute. Nobody's seeing your notes except for you, but it just has to make sense to you. Drawing it out is going to give you a physical and emotional connection to the information, and it's going to help you remember it better in the long run. Next, charts. Charts are so underused, but I really suggest that you try them out. Make charts for everything. Make comparison charts when you are trying to remember the difference between an angiosperm and a fern, when you want to know the difference between the different kingdoms, or if you're trying to remember the difference between the different element types. Make a chart and write how they have a relationship and the difference. So, for example, the alkaline metals are unstable versus the noble gases, which are stable. Make comparison charts that just explain everything and put it in point form so you can see when you look at the chart and you can take it away immediately instead of having to read through cumbersome notes, because that is not your strength. Your strength is looking at something and pulling the information from that. Make sure to add lots of colors and visual elements to the notes that you do have to write out. So if you do have a page of just long-winded notes, add a bunch of colors and stylize it. Add some doodles and pretty aesthetic elements to it so that it's fun for you to look at and fun for you to read. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to think up diagrams of what's in the notes. Just make them visually appealing, and that's going to help you with finding and remembering what's in them. Try watching demonstrations or documentaries. You can often YouTube different tutorials and demonstrations and be able to visually watch what's happening if you are kind of tired of all of the other elements. Same thing with documentaries. Documentaries usually have a lot of good points in them, and if they are not necessarily true to what you have learned, you're still learning because you're picking out the differences between what you're being shown in the documentary, which is often a watered down version of what is actually based on and meant for mass consumption, than strictly complicated facts, and reflecting on how the information is different and how it's watered down and how it's been altered from the facts that you were presented in class is a learning activity unto itself. If you are searching for more study activities, check out the description. I have a study planner. It has more than 20 study activities and a bunch of other resources to help you plan your study sessions and study better and more effectively. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Every Thursday, we drop more study tips, organizational hacks, and homework help to help you get through the study struggle. Visit our website for a ton of helpful resources, and you should be able to check out over here for a playlist or a video recommended for you. Take care, and I hope you have an amazing adventure.